Welcome back to KARE 11 News Now. Minneapolis Park Police are asking for your help finding whoever took a chainsaw to the trees near Cedar Point Beach. Ian Russell checked it out.
Under a blanket of snow, it's easy to miss the damage.
That doesn't mean it's impossible to find, even though this snow makes it a little more difficult, but as we looked around for things, it's easy to see that evidence.
Just off Cedar Lake Parkway and Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, tree stumps now poke through thanks to us. That's what's left of 3 35-or-so-year-old basswood and oak trees after the Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board, or MPRB, took down the stumps. But they weren't the ones who cut these trees down.
It certainly wasn't our crews.
So who did? Well, that's a great question, and one Jeremy Barrick and the MPRB wants to find an answer to.
Trees in an urban environment, they have a really tough go to begin with, growing in a city, and then we see these instances of people coming along and removing things illegally for whatever reasons, selfish nonetheless.
A volunteer park steward took these photos last week of the trees down and reported it to the MPRB. Barrick says those trees are worth more than $10,000 total, but the time it took to grow them is priceless.
25, 35 years to grow those trees, and that's how long it's going to take to get something of that quality back.
35 years old means these trees were born in 1990. The same amount of time means it would take until 2060 to get back to where they were. Barrick says they'll look to restore the area before then. In the meantime, though, their frustration remains while they keep looking for whoever did this.
Coming in and taking out a tree like this without working with us and without us being able to say, no, here's why that tree exists, it really is just a detriment to the community.
The MPRB says that they're going to be putting up these signs in that area of Cedar Lake and Franklin to see if anyone knows anything about who did this. If you know, they're asking you to call the park police, which can be found over at KARE11.com. There's a lot of reasons companies choose a particular city to open their businesses, but perhaps none quite like the one that recently lured a corporation to break ground in Minnesota by the end of this year. Gordon Severson shows us how a high school robotics team helped attract a multi-million-dollar magnet company.
When the school bell rings at Sartell High School, the school day may be over, but the learning doesn't stop. For the Sabre Robotics team, every practice is a lesson in trial and error. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. And in the early years of the program, students say they did a lot of learning.
When I first came into this, we were lucky if we had a moving robot.
Paige Erickson,
really lucky if we had a moving robot,
joined the robotics team in 3rd grade.
Yeah, that could be an idea.
She's now a senior and a team captain.
I really am passionate about what we're doing here.
She was on the team that won 2 back-to-back local tournaments and then went to the World Championship 2 years in a row.
We've done really well.
Coach Ryan Swanson says these kids are amazing. So he wasn't surprised when he got a phone call from the city of Sartell asking them for help.
And they said, gather a couple kids. We want you to make a presentation to these representatives from a company that's looking to move to Sartell.
The company was Niron Magnetics, a company with a single mission: to create a better magnet that is better for the environment.
Just a block of iron, one of the most recycled materials on the planet.
They break the iron into tiny particles and then add nitrogen,
which has these amazing magnetic properties.
Using a high-powered press, they can shape this powder into magnets that can be used in countless products we use every day.
It's like this electric guitar.
From musical instruments and speakers to car parts and cell phones.
Magnets are used to make the world go round.
After years of research and development, the company is now ready to sell their magnets to companies around the world. All they need is a new facility to make them.
We actually looked at 75 different sites in Minnesota. We down selected to 15 and then to 5.
A team of top executives visited all 5 cities, including Sartell, to see which one would be the best fit. And they were blown away when they met the Sartell robotics team.
That was the only robotics team we saw of any of our locations. This team came out, these young people, they looked us in the eye, they showed off their robot, they spoke eloquently.
The team also built this custom-made medallion, welcoming Niron to the community.
We were blown away when the team came on stage and handed us this medallion. We were all speechless, honestly.
And the leadership team thought, well, if we're going to be hiring 185 people soon, perhaps these students could one day be our employees.
A lot of the skills that the robotics team works on, it's not just the technical and being able to build a robot. It's about teamwork, right? It's about working together to solve problems.
A few weeks later, Ryan got another phone call from the city announcing that Niron was coming to Sartell.
It's like, oh my gosh, the opportunity in front of us is incredible.
Even more exciting was the company saying his students played a big factor in their decision.
So getting to be a part of it and be part of bringing that into our community has been so cool.
It was like, ooh, I actually did this.
The company's plan is to break ground on this 80-acre piece of land here in Sartell by the end of the year and to be making magnets by the end of next year. For the robotics team, it's another lesson that when you work hard and commit to something, people notice.
A lot of manufacturing is kind of going away a little bit, so getting to pull it back in a higher level makes me proud of my community.
In Sartell, Gordon Severson, KARE 11 News.
Got a free business education there. Pretty cool story. Thanks, Gordon. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.